Hi everyone, it's Shannon, aka QB Crossing, and today we are back with another Dream Island tour. If you are new here, I like to do some island tours in between each of my speed builds each week for some extra inspiration for all of us. So if you enjoy content like this and Animal Crossing inspiration in general, please consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me. But let's talk about what we're doing today. So this island tour has actually been very highly requested by many of you. This is the island of Mabel's Apron over on Instagram and Twitter, which I'm sure some of you all are familiar with her work already because it is absolutely gorgeous and she has just such a specific eye for detail, which a lot of us really love and admire, as well as some really beautiful interiors. So this is the island of Aurelia, and I can already tell by this map that this is going to be a absolutely stunning island. This waterscaping here is actually phenomenal. The fact that there are so many curves and twists and turns with the waterscaping tool on this map is insane to me because the waterscaping tool is pretty much my worst enemy. So this is some major talent here already. And I want to give you guys a little bit of a background from Daisy on what this island is and what it was inspired by. So it is an overgrown, whimsical vintage island, and it is heavily inspired by the children's book, The Wind in the Willows, which I think is going to be absolutely stunning. And look at all of these cuties on the island here. They are really living their best lives, getting to live on Daisy's island. And like I said, if you want to grab the dream address, it is down below, or it will be in the description as always. And we are getting a little bit of an exclusive look here because the dream address is getting released today. So let's see what we have going on over here at the entrance. Wow, look at this right off the bat. There's pretty much a floating island right here, which is such a cool idea, but it's still accessible. And I love that you can see a waterfall on one side, a bridge, an incline, as well as this really cool pathing. I love this circular pathing that Daisy does. It just feels very much on brand for Daisy, and whenever I see a post like this, I know that this is some Daisy pathing going on here. This is really so nice, and her curation of items is always so beautiful and unique. I mean, a lot of these items I'm looking at here, I probably would never think to throw together, but she, just like I said earlier, has such a eye for beauty and detail, and it really comes through with every single inch of her island. So that is the entrance here, and I'm already pretty excited to explore more. I think I'm actually going to go over the bridge first. We'll check out what's over on that incline in a bit, but I want to get over by resident services and check out how this looks around here. Look at this tiny transition area that we have. This little pathing that she's using, I love the way that it curves around, and even how she has everything really surrounded by trees and dirt pathing. So many really beautiful custom codes all throughout her island. I'm seeing Colin's pathing coming through here, which I'm excited about, and I just want to show that the resident services is accessible right over here, but I do want to check out this little neighborhood because it's really calling my name. So she is using this concrete pathing by Colin that we've looked at before, but this is the more natural version, and it works so well on her island for this little neighborhood. Let's see whose house this is over here. This is Rosie's house, and I love that everything is surrounded by trees and everything feels very simple, but the detail that goes into this is actually so thoughtful and must have taken such a long time to get the right mix of items together. It's just so gorgeous to look at, and oh wow, okay, this is so cool. So there's this little area in the center here where you kind of pick which pathway you want to go down. It makes for a really interesting centerpiece because we have all of these different signposts here, choosing which way you want to go, and they're all labeled based on what each direction is going to take you to, but I just think that this is such a cool way to lay out your pathing and a really cool start to a neighborhood. So I'm actually going to go forward this way, but I really just enjoy how everything is lined with trees because it feels so cozy. I'm definitely getting that vintage feel that Daisy is always going for, and I think that it looks really, really nice. I don't know if I'm as familiar with the children's book, but I'm sure that it is exactly as beautiful as the children's book that this island was inspired by. So we have the cutest little Henry's house over here, and then we have some really nice natural terraforming, like a little pond, which is really sweet and kind of just the perfect amount of decoration all throughout here. I'm actually going to go up this incline now to see what we have going on, and look at this cliff detail. This is really nice because I love the way that she's breaking up this pathing. She's not just doing one large section of dirt, but she's actually breaking it up and decorating each section with some little items and bikes and little like places to sit and relax, which feel really homey and cozy. Just exactly the vibe that I'm getting for this island all throughout. I want to head over to the left side and see what's going on over here. Okay, so this is cool. It just takes you to the edge of the beach here, but I think that it also may be a little secret way to the campsite, and this is one of my favorite ways to treat a peninsula. So actually having your campsite on the peninsula if you have enough space, and again, like the simple beauty of all of these builds is really something special that I find throughout Daisy's work. I mean, for me, sometimes I want to fill every area up with codes, but having something really simple and just the right amount decorated is so impactful and makes for these areas that just feel like paintings to me. I think if your Animal Crossing island feels like a painting, you're really doing something right here. So I don't want to sneak into that area yet because I want to go the right way. So let's go down this way and see. Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump out of the path here, but look at this little hidden area in the woods. This is such a nice idea here to have this little hidden campsite with the two kids' tents. And I mean, again, like the details and the different items that she's using throughout all just match the island so nicely. I can't wait to see what she does with all of the new update items that we're getting, because I'm sure that it is going to be absolutely stunning to see these small builds with even more variety of items, because I'm sure that Daisy is feeling very stuck with some of the same items like we all are, but she always makes the most of everything we have. And a lot of times I see her using items that I wouldn't even think to use. So these little areas are very inspirational. Another little tip here, if you're looking for some natural inspiration or filler spaces, is to do a little circular area like this with just surrounded by trees. I always think that it feels very homey and cute, and it's just, for me, I love the way that that looks, and it makes for a nice sort of simple composition if you're looking for a filler spot. So let's just see what's going on if we go to the right now. Look at the way that this pathing is laid out. This looks really stunning. I mean, Colin's pathing is so beautiful, but it really works on this island, which I love to see. The diagonals, all the different kind of curves. It makes it feel so much more interesting than a straight path. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have a little diagonal pathing going on here in front of her house. And this to me is such a beautiful view here. And the thing that I love that Colin's pathing is getting so popular is that it's making islands really easy to navigate. I know that a lot of people say with natural islands, like, oh, they're so cluttered and they're not easy to get around. But with this, I mean, there's really no way to say that this is too cluttered, right? So easy to explore. So I really like to see that mix of the pathing and then this more natural decoration to the left of it. Again, all of these tiny areas, she just really has an eye for detail. So if you're familiar with Daisy, you are familiar with some of her interiors. And she, to me, is really the interior queen. And she said that she only was going to do the main room until the new update comes, but we still get to at least get to see one of Daisy's interiors in person. And I mean, wow. This is totally that vintage vibe that she's talking about. Look at the way that she breaks up the space. I'm going to try to get out of the camera here. It's so hard with interiors and the camera to not get in the frame, but she really breaks up the space in such amazing ways. Like, this is a little studio apartment here. So we have a living room over on this side. And then towards the back here, we actually have a little kitchen area. So I love the way that she's breaking it up with all the different items. And I'm sure that she'll be very happy to not have to use the rock climbing walls anymore to set up different spaces. But then over here in this area, we have the little bed and we have some really cute custom codes up on the wall, as well as that like floral swag. Every little detail of her interiors are always so thoughtful. And she even has this little door over here. And it looks like there's like a package at the front door, the bike. Just the detail and thought that goes into making something like this is always really, really astonishing to me, because I'm not really one to do interiors. So I love to see all these little details like the socks on the floor and things like that. Okay, so let's continue exploring the island, and we're gonna go down this way on the path. And I really love, like I said before, how easy she's making it to get around and how everything is really nicely just flowing and there's no real question on which way you have to go. So look at this. I am such a big fan of the way that she's mixing the structured pathing and then this more natural pathing through here, which is actually leading to this beautiful museum area. Look at that. So she has a museum in the second stage here, which is the nice brown exterior. And she has this really nice little leaf pathing that I think works so well for her island. Look at these little tree stumps as well. Such cuteness going on here. I'm not sure if cuteness is a word, but I'm making it a word for this island. So let's continue this way. I don't know if I'm supposed to go around this way, but I just want to note like the really beautiful terraforming and waterscaping that's going on all throughout this island. So continuing around here, I think we're going to head over the bridge and look at this view that we're seeing. There was just something so simple and beautiful about a lot of these areas that I'm looking at, where it's almost like a mix of symmetry but then asymmetry, and I don't know, but it just really works. Okay, so like I said before, creating the little areas like this that are completely surrounded by trees are a really good way to break areas apart, have different spaces for areas without using fencing, but it also just creates a really nice composition to work around. And this circular pathing that Daisy does is always really, really nice and interesting to look at, and it's just a little bit more fun than using a regular dirt pathing or just a different way to lay it out. So just a fun little tip or piece of inspiration for everyone here. Look at this. I love this table setting over here. I'm gonna actually open up the camera app so we can zoom in. I mean, look at this. I love the alarm clock. I think I started using the alarm clocks in my builds because of inspiration that I got from Daisy. So I don't think I'd ever seen anyone using that before her. We have Raymond's house over here, and I think we're actually getting to a really cool area. So let's kind of walk around this way. So we actually are at a very natural cul-de-sac. So if you all saw my tour of Collins Island, you saw that cul-de-sac that he made with his pathing. But this is a very similar idea that I know was inspired by Colin, but the twist that Daisy put on it to give it this really natural look and feel that fit her island is so cool. And I know that a lot of us have really natural islands, so this is probably some really great inspiration for us. And I just think that the cul-de-sac idea in general was really fun because it's just a nice way to set up a neighborhood. And I'm not sure how we hadn't thought of this earlier because it's such a cool way to put houses in a little circle here. I just really want to take a picture of this because it's such an interesting design, and I love the twist that Daisy put on it because it just comes across so nicely with this natural pathing that she's using. And also all of the houses that she put together work really, really nicely. They have some similarities, but enough differences to add a lot of contrast. Let's see what happens if we follow this way up here. Oh, so cute. This must be Molly's house. And I love this little cliff that she's on up here. Again, this like signature Daisy pathing with this circle here. So much more interesting than just doing a big slab of dirt like I would usually do. So this looks so cute. And I love giving my villagers their own little cliffs as well. So I really enjoy that. And what are we stumbling upon here? Oh, this looks like maybe a little bookshop or library in the woods. And again, I think what's really interesting about this island is that a lot of the ideas here are things that you may have seen on other islands, like a library or a cafe. But the way that Daisy brings everything to her style is so unique and can definitely serve as a lot of inspiration for little small filler areas or just more natural islands as well. So I'm really excited that we're getting to tour this one today. I actually want to see what's going on over here because I think that there's a little lake area. This looks super beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but I've been thinking about having a little bit of a lake area on my island for a cool lookout. And this is super cool because she has a little bit of a floating island over in the middle there, which looks really, really nice. I think just sitting there and having a cup of coffee underneath the spooky tree sounds like a good time. And I, for one, would like to be there right now. And we also have, oh, this is so cute. I love these tiny little bridges that she has all throughout that lead to these cute little seating areas. Honestly, there's so much inspiration that you can get just from looking at the little table settings that Daisy does. So I'll probably be coming back to this dream address very often for some inspiration myself. Did we come over here already? I don't think we did. Oh no, because we're right on the right side of resident services now. This is such, look at this terraforming. I mean, just looking at this gives me a little bit of anxiety because I hate the waterscaping tool. But to make something this beautiful with these little walkways here and the bridge leading up to this house, I absolutely adore this. And I think it will be so nice when we have the bike with the little basket in the front. I know that that would be totally perfect for this island, but everything here looks so good. And I love like the dimension that you get here with the waterfalls on each side, the water in the background. This is just one of the most stunning areas that I've seen so far, not just on this island, but I think in Animal Crossing in general. So let's continue back this way because I have a feeling we didn't go all the way to the right side yet. So I may have gotten a little bit ahead of myself just because everything on this island is so beautiful and I keep wanting to just explore further. So, oh, whoa, I think I missed how cool this terraforming was right here. Look at this. Okay, this is such a smart idea. Like having a bridge on each side of these little floating island areas is so cool. That just adds such an interesting dimension to what would just be a little picnic area. So I really think that that is so smart. Did I miss that? I think I went over the bridge and totally missed that kind of detail here, which is pretty hard to miss, but leave it to me to miss it. I'm glad that we looked at that. Let's see, let's go down here. So, oh, we have the path again. I love that it's really intentional where she's using Colin's pathing, this concrete path, and where we have more of the natural pathing. So it looks like in more of the little town areas or on the first level here, we're getting some more of the concrete pathing, like over here by Nook's Cranny. And then I really like this shopping district. If we open up the camera app or just pan around, I love that this has like a little curvy path here, and you have Nooks and Abels on each side. It's really the perfect shopping district in my opinion here. I really love the way that she's treating the river mouths over here by just extending this stream on the right side of her island. Feels really natural and definitely goes with that whimsical, overgrown feel that she's going for. So if we continue back up this way, I know that this actually connects back down to the entrance, but I think that we missed a couple of little areas over on the left side of the island. So I want to just make our way back over there to see what we may have missed the first time around. There's a lot of little hidden pathways over on this island, so if you do explore, definitely take your time and see every little nook and cranny of this island. But I noticed that there's this little arrow pointing over here with the signpost, and look at this. I love that she's using the bridge as a centerpiece and the design focal point here. And again, she's really surrounding this area with trees to help with the overall composition. And I think that it looks so lovely with all of the different tree sizes that she's using as well. And again, like all of these cute little decorations around with like the umbrella, the cutting board, the little pathing that we have going on here too. There's just so much beauty all throughout this island. So I definitely did not want to miss that. And I think that there's another area, if we continue up here, that I may have missed on the first time. So if we look over here, this is over by where the museum was, but if you continue along this pathway, there's another tiny neighborhood, which is super cute. And I mean, look at this little pathing back here as well. All of the waterways connect so nicely, and it's really hard to make them feel as natural as they do on this island. So we have a villager house over here. We have Stitch's house, and I really love how simplistic his house is with his little like cliff area and just some cute flowers and pathing around. And then if we look at this view here, I love to see all of the dimension with the different layers. And look at this view for Callie. Like I was saying before, I love to see the houses on a second level, especially when there's water surrounding, because seeing the water in the back there that is really flowing into the larger beach area behind, it just feels so dimensional and beautiful. Like there's just so many layers going on here which add to the view so much. And Callie's house is absolutely perfect. If you guys haven't seen Callie's house before, it's right here, and that green coloring is just beautiful. So every little detail here is just really coming together so nicely. So I think that we've actually seen most everything on this island. So I hope that you all enjoyed this as much as I did. I know that this is going to be one of my go-to islands for some inspiration from now on. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you guys. And until next time, bye!